All right, guys. So the topic we started this was, is this 7-2 defeat to Aston Villa the worst defeat in Premier League history? So I'm going to go around the circle and ask everyone that question. And then I also want you to tell me why you think yes or no. And if you do think no, name your worst result and why. So, Biz, I'm going to start with you. Is it the worst defeat in Premier League history?
No, I don't think it is at all. I think it's the biggest shock because of the kind of scalp that they've taken, and where they were last season. But it's, to me, it's not the biggest defeat in Premier League history for me. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of one where I think is worse. But just from my standpoint as a Liverpool fan, I think it was one of those days where everything went wrong, for us, and we have the ability to bounce back. So I think that, I mean, the one that I'm thinking of at the top of my head is when United beat Arsenal 8-2. That
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 mud
was
game.
that was that was probably the most humiliating one. I mean, don't get me wrong, this result was
That
humiliating,
that
but
game should have been on after watershed,
I don't.
basically.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, not it's not the worst one for me. Biggest shock, but it's not the worst defeat.
Fair enough. Rams, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'd have to say it's not the worst result in Premier League history. I think that Southampton game against Leicester was just mad, and in front of your own fans as well, conceding nine. That's not great. I know people will say we're the champions and you're playing against a relegation team, but for me, I think it has to be Southampton. And give credit to Aston Villa. Aston Villa played their hearts out, man. They got some decent players. Before the game, I did actually predict that I think they'll challenge to go in the top half of the league because of the players that they've got. They've done some really, really shrewd signings with Ollie Watkins and obviously Matty Cash, who I know personally because of my dad being a Forest fan and how much he raved about this guy. And
Yeah.
trust me, if I was going to give a prediction, I think he'll get an England cap this season because he's that good of a player. Yeah, because I rate him so highly. So yeah, for me, it has to be the Southampton 9-0 defeat. It's going to be the worst.
Fair enough. Drew, your thoughts?
First of all, everyone just wants it to be the worst result so they can laugh at us because they can't laugh at us. So let's just get that elephant out of the room. A lot of people, people are going to say I'm only saying this because of what happened to us, but I don't think the scoreline is always what makes a result the worst result. People just like to glorify things. I'm not going to lie. The way we dominated Arsenal the week before was way more embarrassing than what we just received, in my opinion. The scoreline doesn't look like it, but during that match, we actually controlled for 90 minutes a group of human beings. 11 other men were inferior and had absolutely nothing they could do about it.
JFD.
No, real talk. But just because the scoreline is only 3-1, people will look at it and go, no, I'm not saying that was the worst result. That Arsenal defeat weren't the worst defeat. But what I'm saying is putting it into context. People will only look at the scoreline and then that will be how they'll rate the game. If you look at that 8-2 that Arsenal got beaten against Man United, they were actually men against boys in that game. We had way more the ball, but just kept making the same mistake against Villa. Do you get what I'm saying? There were even moments during the Villa game where we looked like we were going to get back into it. Then we'll make the same mistake again and be like, what's going on here? Lads, come on, man. What is this? Whereas other games, like what Ram said with the Southampton 9-0, they didn't look at any moment in that game like they were in it. It was just embarrassing. They were battered. They were all over the place. People just want it to be Liverpool. They just do. Man City got beat 8-1 by Middlesbrough about, 11 years ago. That was an absolutely shocking performance for Man City. Like, there's so many games that are worse than this. It's just the scoreline makes it feel like you should say it because Aston Villa should never score 7 goals past Liverpool. So it's the biggest shock. It's not the worst defeat. Come on, man. If you really want us, like even Man U getting pumped just 2 minutes before we went on air by Tottenham, that performance was way worse than our performance. The scoreline didn't look as bad, but Man United were all over the place. Do you get what I mean?
But the scoreline's just as bad. It's a 5-goal deficit either way, isn't it?
There you go. And we was away. Man United were home. That was on home soil. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it's definitely not the worst. People just want it to be the worst. Listen, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't winning. That's why we got the most haters right now. I love it. Bring it. Like, it is what it is. We come up in every topic. I watched the Chelsea show and they spoke about Liverpool for like 5 minutes. Why are you talking about us? You know what I'm saying? Are you supposed to be talking about Chelsea? Do you know why? Because we went to their backyard and we pumped them. We're still in the mines. We're living rent-free everywhere. Everywhere. Let them talk, man. Just let them talk. Let them have it. It is what it is, man.
What are you saying we got squatters' rights in other clubs, yeah?
Squatters' rights, bro. You know what? It's so bad. We can leave the door open, go, and we still get in when we get back. Squatters' rights, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going into the nightclub in trainers, and it blatantly says no shoes, no cap. It is what it is, man. It is. Let them talk, man. Let them talk.
So strong.
And Thiago ain't even here yet, boys. We still got Thiago. Come on. Wait till they start seeing him piecing up 240 passes a game. They're not ready. They're not ready, man. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk.
Bro, do you echo what everyone else has said? Do you think it's not the worst defeat?
I love Drift, man. Like, I just need to say that first and foremost, innit?
Big up yourself, man.
The thing is, like, so for me, the worst defeat is clearly the Blackburn Sheffield Wednesday result. Clearly the worst. Because no one remembers it. Joking aside.
I'm not going to lie. I was hoping you'd go a direction with that.
Joking aside, it's the Manchester City 8-1. They got beat 8-1 at home. Put that into perspective.
Was it at home?
No, it's at Middlesbrough. It wasn't at home.
Was it at Middlesbrough? Right,
yeah, it's at Middlesbrough.
Correct me. Well, even still, 8-1
I've changed my mind
is an embarrassment. And more to the point, didn't they have like big superstar signings in that team as well? Because that was when they were starting to get a bit of money.
Well, yeah, this was under their first ownership. So this was
Vincent Tan.
Yeah.
This was after. Was it after the Stuart Downing era for Middlesbrough? Where
no, Stuart Downing was a part of that mauling.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stuart Downing ripped up man. Like that might be why we bought him.
Exactly.
Downing actually got the first goal in that game on the 16th minute.
Right. Yeah, for me,
didn't Alfonso Alves score?
Yeah, Alfonso scored a hat-trick that game.
Yeah, he scored a hat-trick.
He scored like 3 goals.
I couldn't even keep a straight face. I meant to be host, but I couldn't even keep a straight face with that one. Yeah, he did. He scored a hat-trick that game. Go on, Stro.
No, I'm saying it for me. It's that or the Arsenal one. Like, I'm not being funny. They had you look at that Manchester United team that day. At no point should they be beating that Arsenal team 8-2. I'm sorry. It's an embarrassment.
When you start reeling them off, you forget all the big ones, like when City pumped Man United 6-1 at Old Trafford. Like that is a more embarrassing. That's a more embarrassing game. That's a bigger defeat because number one, it's your next door neighbours. You're at home. You're in front of a 70,000 seated capacity stadium. Villa Park's empty. To me. That's irrelevant. If we'd have lost at home, it'd have been irrelevant to me because there's no one in the ground.
Why always need one?
But yeah, there was that. United were embarrassing. We did United 4-1 at Old Trafford a few years ago. Like they all reel off. There's loads of massive defeats like that. When you keep thinking about it, but people just. Yeah.
Dare I say Arsenal have been the ones who've just been taking it from everyone over the last 10 years. No, they have. If you look at it. No, they have.
How many times have they come to Anfield and been bent over?
Yeah, they're very
we bend them man over regular.
If you look at it, we beat them. What it was 5-1? We beat them that season. We beat them 5-1 recently when Bobby got a hat trick. They've lost 6-0 to City. I remember they've lost 6-0 to Chelsea. Was it 6-1? Obviously the 8-2 to Man United. So, look, I get rivalry, and it's always good to have fun and banter. But for other clubs, when you're Man City, when you're Man United, when you're Arsenal, all these other clubs, Chelsea, I've seen Chelsea lose, what is it, 6-0 to Man City as well. For all you clubs, let's just put some perspective and let's not throw stones when we're in a glass house, because we can all pick out results and of recent memory, and we can just say, look, this happened to you guys. But obviously there are some clubs, Arsenal for example, who it's happened to more regularly than others. So that's all I'll say on that. Because
let's be honest, everyone in this room right now, knows that Villa defeat. We can all say, "Raw, what happened there?" Like, come on, you lot was all thinking I was gonna be vexed in the post game. I just couldn't stop laughing because of how shocked I was. Of like, how on earth did that just happen? Do you think we got pumped 7-2 by Man U, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea? You would have seen a smile on my face in any capacity. Losing to a rival is way worse, regardless of whatever, because you were up for that game. That game means something at the end with regards to head-to-head, taking points off of each other. There's no way anyone can say when a smaller team gets a fluke victory, which, let's be honest, that's what that is. It's a fluke victory. Whereas you look at the Man U and the Tottenham game, for example, you're like, there's no fluke there. Tottenham are just better than Man United right now, and they just pumped them in their own backyard. It is what it is. Like, I could never take losing like that to a rival. So all jokes aside, when your rival pumps you, it's way worse than a shock decision against the lower team, without a shadow of a doubt. Like, there's no way you can ever try and play it off like it isn't. Absolutely no chance.
And here's the thing as well when you look at it. No, sorry to interrupt. Here's the thing as well when you look at it. Like, Carl's just reeled off all them results that Arsenal have got. Obviously, DT jumps on the stream, so I did the match reaction, and then DT jumped on it smiling like, bro, you look at them results, Arsenal's like the blunt that you just pass around and man them. Everyone's hitting it. What are we talking about? It's absolute cheek of the man to jump on when literally they are the blunt that just gets hit by the man them.
It's so true.
On that note, gotta say a massive thank you.